Phoebe Kong, DW East Asia correspondent, joining us live from Taipei in Taiwan. Thank you so much for taking time out to be with us here on WION World is One. Talk to us. There are protests taking place in Taiwan today in support of the pro-democracy activists in Hong Kong.
Yeah, Taiwanese in general have been sympathetic to the situation in Hong Kong for a long period of time, and especially given the proximity between Taiwan and Hong Kong. They're geographically very close to each other, and Taiwan, the Taiwanese society has been supportive to the Hong Kong protests since last year, and people are very sympathetic to them, and so this kind of protest, we believe that there will be a signal to the Taiwanese government that they may have to consider further help or aid to Hong Kong protesters or the worsening Hong Kong situation in response to the public opinion in Taiwan.
Right, and things between Taiwan and China itself have been rather rocky, over the last couple of months. We've seen tensions boil over on this entire one China policy that China wants to enforce and reiterate that Taiwan is, after all, a part of China. There have been tensions, global tensions building on the back of that as well.
Yeah, and the tensions between Taiwan and China have been intensifying not only this year, but since the incumbent President Tsai Ing-wen took office in 2016. So it has been intensifying pressure between the two places. That so as you have mentioned, the signals, that the signs we have read recently that China is keeping to push for the unification with Taiwan under the so-called one country, two systems model. So as we see, this is a kind of a failure in Hong Kong in many people's eyes, in the rest of the world. But China insists the same model to unify Taiwan, but it's getting more strong resistance from the Taiwanese society, that people simply reject to this kind of proposal. And I think the tension between the strikes is not going to ease in short term. And in response, the Taiwanese government has gained a better relationship with the U.S. Than ever. So I think the tension between not only China and Taiwan, but also it will involve U.S. in the larger sense.
Right, Phoebe, we've seen U.S. come to Taiwan's support, be it for a seat at the World Health Assembly meet, and we've seen a lot of international support grow for Taiwan over the entire controversy of not being given a seat, an observer status at the World Health Assembly, and we've seen U.S. sailing warships in the region, and we've seen China step up military exercises near Taiwan. So in that sense, Taiwan is in the middle of fighting its own battles with China, with support from the international community. Do you think now, if Taiwan were to take up the Hong Kong issue, it will be able to galvanize more global support in that sense?
Taiwan has long been one of the fronts, when we talk about China's aggression, because that's what I've mentioned. China has long been trying to unify Taiwan, and if we talk about what is Taiwan is going to help Hong Kong, I think the answer is yes. Right now, at least under the current administration, under the leadership of Tsai Ing-wen president, that they have been showing support to the Hong Kong protests. And what Taiwan is doing right now is trying to help in a humanitarian way. That as in the past few months, in the past almost a year, that Taiwan is helping to accommodate some of the Hong Kong protesters who face prosecution in Hong Kong. So in the future, we see that Taiwan will continue to be a kind of a place to help Hong Kong protesters and residents in general, if they want to flee, or if they want to leave the city, then Taiwan will be maybe a place for them for a destination.
Right. Phoebe Kong, DW East Asia correspondent, joining us live from Taipei.